Yo! What's up, dudes? Look who is in the basement.
Boys and girls, welcome back. By the way, it's not cheap. What you need to do, call them.
Right.
They actually took money off when same thing I tell people, like if you're on a website, call.
Yeah.
They took money off.
Yeah, I do that when sometimes if I want to use guitar, say I look in Guitar Center and I see it, and I'll call over and I'll say, hey, I'm calling about this guitar I saw on the website. They'll say, oh, let me go get it, and they'll get it. They'll say, how do you think it looks? Yeah? How does it think it plays? Yeah? How do the frets look? Yeah, yeah. Is that the best price you can do on it? And inevitably, they come down 20, 30 bucks, you know?
Yeah.
On a $300 guitar, which is like a 10% discount.
They'll always, everybody will always take something off.
Right.
And if you could save a couple of bucks, why not save a couple of bucks?
Well, I remember one time, we used to really not do that in the music store when I was there from 85 to 95. And right in like probably 87 or 88, right before this one guy, he had gotten married and he was about to move away. Someone came in, they were looking to get an amp, and the amp was like, you know, 300 bucks. And the guy's like, what's the best price you can do? And he says, well, let me see what I can do. And he did this big song and dance, and he's got the calculator out, and he goes, you know, I hate to say it, but my margins are so tight on that amp, the best I can do, and I'm trying to give you something, I can give you like another 10 bucks off. The guy goes, that's fine, I'll take it. And when he left, I go, what the hell was that? He goes, some guys, if you don't give them that 10 bucks, they'll walk because it's a matter of principle. He goes, I wanted to make the sale, and I knew if I just came even off $10, that would be enough to do it. And that's exactly what happened.
And if you show compassion, people genuinely appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Say, listen, you know, business isn't good. You know, it's priced right. It's probably the best price. If I gave you some, like a courtesy, you know, 10 bucks off, would that work for you? A lot of people like look at that and be like, yeah, that's cool, man.
Well, he got all scientific. He's back there going, hold on. Let me see what I can do.
The Saturday Night Live at the airport just kind of cranking
through. It's all a big act.
Right. I hope that guy isn't watching the video saying, I was that guy.
It's from France.
So here's something else. I'm going to give everyone a buyer's tip.
All right.
Okay. So let's say, because sometimes...
And we should probably end on this because we're getting late there.
We are getting late.
And we might even run out of memory on that real soon.
Here's a buyer's tip. True story. Sometimes it's about getting what you want, but in an ethical way. I'm not talking about, you know, being unethical and trying to pull a fast one. But let's say, I'll give you a true story. I was in a Sam Ash up in Springfield, North Jersey, and they had a USA-made BC Rich. I still own the guitar. It's matter of fact, my Vox Night Train video, an old video, it's probably not that good. I use that guitar. It's my white Mockingbird, beautiful. Kaler trem, DiMarzio pickups, neck through, beautiful guitar. Anyway, they had that on the wall for about, I think it was $1,200, and it didn't play right, and it needed new strings, it needed a setup and all that, and you know, listen, they don't make that anymore, and to buy a USA-made BC Rich today, you're probably looking at like $3,500.
All right.
Some insane price, and it probably wouldn't be as good as this, you know, that one.
Right.
So I had asked the guy, I said, hey, is there anything you could do? And he said, nope, sorry. Because from a store's from their perspective, and I appreciate this, it's not like you could buy another one. Like $1,200 is probably not a bad deal, given what it is.
Right.
I said, okay. So I bought it. And then what happened was I brought it home. And, you know, because I do setups on my own guitars and stuff, and I looked at I looked at the whole thing, and I realized, you know what, it really probably, like truss rod adjustments, I don't really do a whole lot of, because it's, the Climate by Me is the Climate by Me, right? So I figured I'd bring it to my guy, Dennis Kager. He does like all my amp repairs. Amp repairs I don't do. Tube swaps I'll do, but like when you get like something buzzing and it's soldering, it's like, eh. So I figured, let me bring it down to my guy, Dennis. And Dennis, you know, even though I know him, I still pay him. I want him to be in business. Figured it was about, you know, $150 to go through it right and take everything out, clean it up. So I called up the Guitar Center. I said, listen, I bought can I talk to the store manager? Okay, because the sales guy was the one that was like, no. I said, listen, I bought a guitar down there. I said, it's paid $1,200. It was used guitar. It probably needs a good $150 setup. I'd like for you to pay for that. Otherwise, I'll return the guitar. And they're like, no. Because at that point, Now the shoe's on the other foot. They don't
Right.
want it back.
Right.
They made their margin. They probably
Right.
paid $500 to bring it in.
Right.
They're like, no, no, no. We want you to be happy. How much is the bill?
Right.
It's like $1.50. It's like boom. All of a sudden, I got everything I wanted.
Right.
Just by. Sometimes you got to be patient.
Right. Right.
If it's especially with a used guitar. If it's the guitar you want and the guy's being a little bit of a jerk and he's like, ha ha ha, it's the only one. You know, you have to pay whatever I say you have to pay, and otherwise you can't have it. It's like, okay, you could still return it.
Right.
Just buy it, see what the issues are, and then call and talk to someone else. And sometimes they'll actually do it. And I got $150 off, and it got a beautiful guitar.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like all it took was a little in time and a little and an upfront investment.
That's right.
Because then once you were invested in it, then like you said, they don't want it back.
And I brought
the shoe is on
that's
the
right.
other foot.
The shoe is on the other foot because now I could go back and demand my $1,200 back.
Right.
Number one. Number two, I had an opportunity to take a guitar I really wanted to my guy and have him go through it and say, Dennis, actually it was his brother. I said, Dennis does the amp repairs. His brother does the guitar repairs.
Sure.
So do me a favor, go through the whole thing.
Right.
And he went through it. I got a clean bill of health, but it needed, it was a Kaler, which is involved. He wanted to set the whole thing up and set the neck up and restring it, do the whole thing. Sometimes you don't want to wash the car yourself. Sometimes you want to drive through the car wash.
Yeah.
With this guitar, I wanted to drive through the car wash and say, wow, it's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
That was my goal
And
there.
we get so busy. It's like sometimes you just don't have the time to put
That's
it on.
right.
As much as you'd love to. It's like sometimes you just need to outsource it because there's no time of the day.
That's right.
You want to get it done and you need an answer now because once the return period is over,
That's it.
then all bets are off.
Right.
Because, the return period's over. So, little lesson for you out there.
Buying tips.
All right,
That's what we
guys.
do in our free time. Should we do a little jamming and stuff?
Yeah.
Give me a quick guitar lesson.
All right. What do you need?
I don't know, but you're a fantastic player.
Oh,
Give me an easy lick.
I
What's
like-
your signature lick?
My signature lick is well, you know what? I do this sort of like round thing where like I'll do 2 downstrokes and an upstroke, like you can really
I'm gonna try
get
that.
that going. Yeah. So right, exactly. So you get this like little. So
But
get
you
that
did
little
it
pause.
differently. Do it again. I can't do that. Hold on. I wind up. You're picking.
going. I'm doing 2 downstrokes and then an upstroke. It's an economy pick.
So tell me again. So
So
what?
down, down, up.
Let me try that. So up. That third one is up.
Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. But,
You go back?
But when you go, then you pull off.
Do it fast. Let me try that. So what am I doing? I'm just doing the. I'm actually just tapping.
There it goes. There it is. Yeah.
You know what I struggle with, and I wish I could do it. The Zakk Wylde.
Oh, the.
I can't do it that fast. Why is that?
It's just practice. When I was 20, I could do it 1,000,000 times faster.
I could do
But
this.
I'm just so out of practice.
I could do this. But it's not the same.
Right.
Not the same.
You know who really got me together on that is Steve Morse, because
Okay.
he went through a phase where he picked every note.
Like if I pick, that's about my picking isn't that fast.
It's practice.
Do that again. Let me see that. I wish I could do that. I don't know.
That's nothing
are
though.
you
It's
doing
like
down,
I
up?
got friends who can just starts to sound like a lawnmower after a while.
I like that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Are
So
you
I get
doing
away with
down?
it by doing a lot of rakes. Sounds like there's a lot more going on there than there really is. Right?
Yeah. This is what I want. I wind up doing. You know why? By the way, I've never said this on camera. I'm going to tell you something. There are certain things I like to do because I need a free hand. So when I play A, I could do this. I could do that. I could be like that.
Right.
If I do C, I don't
it
have.
doesn't feel right. No, I know exactly what you're saying.
There are
because
certain-
people tell me all the time. They're like, "Are you going to play another opening in A?" It's like, well, yeah, I kind of do because I'm familiar with it, and then
And the pentatonic stuff is real easy.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people beat me up over it because they say, you know, you're playing
beat
in
me
the
up,
box,
too.
you know, and they're right. Again, I'm not saying they're wrong, but it's, you know, to play the guitar, it's like everything else. It takes time, practice. You need a lesson. Online lessons are tough because there's so many. It's like what works,
yeah.
you know?
You know what? Stringed instruments are among the hardest to play, and they've done studies where they've taken people who are handicapped mentally, right? So they have a mental issue where they're not fully developed, and they went everywhere from piano and drums, you know, to clarinets and violins and unfretted stringed instruments were the hardest, like violin. Stringed fretted instruments like guitar were right up there. Then it gets easier when you get to piano because you just have to push a button and it makes the sound. You don't have to touch and get that
You have
articulation.
that. You have this has to be in sync with this.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but you can't go. You know, you can't go. Right. I mean, we used to have the people come in the store and they're going. And you're like, oh, you know, you die, but you know that's part of the.
We've all been there.
Yeah, you know, and it's just
But it doesn't.
practice.
You know, it's funny. It doesn't sound. I remember when I first started playing the guitar, and one of the first things I learned was Revelations by
Right.
and it was like I felt like a god.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. My first was probably
Iron Man.
and I remember I was going like
That was one of my first.
and then like. And my uncle came over. He goes, "I'm with you up to about here. Then what the hell is that?" I'm
Right.
like, you know, I'm 14. Give me a break.
You know, I really appreciate songs like, you know, some of the stuff today is like I'll use Dream Theater as an example. I like Dream Theater. I can't play Dream Theater.
Yeah, not too many people can.
I'm thankful for bands like Iron Maiden,
Yeah,
AC/DC,
Motley Crue.
that are actually, you know, very easy to play. It's like
Exactly.
that jolt of adrenaline. It's like, wow, I can play the guitar, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on
But
that.
the solo, I've always struggled with the solos. I'm not really a lead guitar player.
You know, it's
You are. You play a mean lead.
I think that some people are really it comes to them easy. And I think for me it didn't come to me easy, but I had an opportunity to play a lot when I was at the music store, and that's what gave me a little bit of an advantage, just because of the sheer number of hours I was able to be around an instrument. And it was during that time
That was a 10-year period.
That was a
right?
10-year period. I was 85 to 95. And I think that's the period where my chops probably really started to take off.
And you were around other guitarists, and like I just said, I
went
love
around
the Zach
teachers
Wild. How do
all
you do it?
day,
Yeah.
And people would come in the store and they play a riff. Oh, how do you play that? And they show me how to play the riff. So, you know, there was a lot of advantage to working
Right.
in the music store.
Yeah.
You know, 7 days a week. You know, usually 6 days a week. I had 1 day off a week.
Right. So I'll tell you a funny story about a music store. Mark Johnson, who writes for the website, he did a video. I love his videos, by the way. Mark, you need more video. He's heard me say that 100 times. Because, you know, anyway, so he did this, and I told him, no copyrighted music.
Right.
I've been sneaking a little bit in there, but I'm not
Right.
supposed. You're not supposed to play copyrighted music and run an ad on and make money from it.
Right. It's a gray area, but mostly no.
Okay. I start, and it's funny because when I play something, people are like, wow, dude, like you actually could play a song. It's like,
Right.
I could play songs. I'm not supposed to.
Right.
So I told Mark, he did an LTD versus ESP shootout, and he used the Enter Sandman link, but he did it like inversed.
Right.
There must be 500 comments on it. And of 500 comments, 450 people said, the dude can't play the lick right. And I'm like, Keep saying it, because every time someone leaves a comment, like, I guess YouTube thinks like, wow, this is a really good video because it's very, very interactive.
Right.
So it just does better and better and better.
Yeah.
All because, and I'm like, Mark, if you ever do another video, don't play it the right way.
Yeah, really, really. Yeah, no, you get that online. Everyone's a critic.
Yes, everyone is a critic.
But you know what? It's not too bad. I would say it's 90% positive, but there's 10% that you're never going to please. And,
some of the best things I've learned came from comments. My lighting came from comments. Like these lights that you have.
Right.
I never used to use that. I used to have this like little lamp and it made everything yellow. And there are some people that really care, and they'd say, hey, TK, you should get this kind of, the people that really care, some people will complain, and then I have to figure it out myself.
Right.
Okay? But the people that really care, like there's a guy, Big Lou, who tunes in, and he's like into photography. He said, this is what you could do to better your thing, and it won't cost you a lot of money.
Right.
Check this link, and it'll give me like 3 different links. I bought 2 of these lights for $80.
Right.
I knew nothing about these lights. But a viewer who tunes in that digs what I do helped me make it better.
Right. And these compact fluorescent go a long way because they're much cooler.
Yes.
They don't use nearly as much electricity.
That's right.
And they're just not nearly as dangerous as the halogens, I'm really worried we're going to run out of time here. We're still recording, I think.
Yes, still a red light.
But you know what? We should probably wrap this up.
Okay.
TK.
Next time I'm in we have to finish this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a talker.
Well, we both
now
are.
Imagine if you
We've been going 3.5 hours before we turn the video on. We're probably going to go an hour after this, and he's got a meeting in 3 hours.
8 a.m.
Yeah.
3 a.m. right now.
It's 3 a.m.
5 hours. So I still have to drive back, semi-sleep, wake up.
Yeah, you got a half-hour drive ahead of you.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
I'm going to blame it on him.
As always, rock on.
As always, rock on. What do you do? Do you just do that?
Yeah, I do that. One of those bad boys right there.
One of those bad boys right there. I'm going to, let's see, how do I normally wrap it up? Thank you. I always thank people for watching my video. Thank you for watching my video. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I dig it. You know the drill. Until next time, rock on. Later.